Hello and welcome back to the Three Hamster Boys podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Alexander. Joining me is my younger brother, Nick.
Younger.
And our father, Jeff.
Older. Father.
There we go. We're arranged as such.
Oh, that's true. Did we do this on purpose?
No.
No, it just happened as it did.
Yeah.
Today, I think we had a bit of a unique idea for the episode in the fact that we love talking about movies, but we also realize that there are a lot of blind spots, not just for the three of us as a family, but also individually. So our task for this week, and I guess last week as well, was to give each other a movie, or give the other two a movie that they hadn't seen, for them to watch it, for us to not talk about it, which was actually really difficult. And then come back here and talk about the movies that we all watched and kind of our first impressions, our thoughts. I've got my phone here. I've got a bunch of notes about the movies. Before we get into the movies, though, Nick. Well, actually, here's what I'll say. We're talking about three movies in depth here, which means that there certainly will be massive spoilers.
A lot of spoilers.
We will probably say very important aspects.
Yes. The three movies, just so that you're aware, is Redline, Memento, and Fences. So if you're planning on watching those three movies, just know those are the movies we're talking about.
None of them are new.
None of them are new.
No.
Yes,
So
we are past that grace period of spoilers.
The most recent movie of the three is Fences, because
Yeah.
it came out in 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's still almost 10 years old.
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh, crazy to think about. All right. Before we start dating ourselves anymore, Nick, what are we drinking today?
Hey, so we are on to another beer episode. Always exciting to return to that. And this is from a place called Patch Brewery out in Gordonsville. And you and I, once again without Alexander,
But this time with our mother.
Our mother. Yes,
Your mother,
comrade.
your mother, my wife.
your wife, yes. We went out there. We did a small little flight, and we got to taste a good variety, which we were pretty happy with. So we're starting off with it's called the VIP, or the Very Italian Pilsner.
Oh.
Yeah. So one thing I will say about this is we went to this place right after it opened up. And we tasted the beers that they had, and you could tell that they were still learning.
Yeah.
This time when we went there, this has been 4 years now.
Yeah, I think so.
It was a huge leap forward. Huge leap forward. And the variety of beers was much greater, because I think they had 4 beers or 5 beers when we went there the first time.
Wow.
So this is, I was really impressed with them. So
It was a good time.
Heck yeah.
But without further ado, this is the very Italian Pilsner. I'm not really expecting. I'm expecting a very clean drink, something that little wets the tongue. I think it's a good start. It shouldn't be anything. Oh, let me try.
it is very good. It has almost a citrusy taste to it.
Whoa.
So that it really took me back because I love. There's a type of beer in Germany that I always get, which is called a Radler, which is a beer with lemon, and this gives me a very citrusy taste to it.
This is also much fuller than I was expecting. I was expecting a very light, sort of clean in and out. This one it's slightly heavier. It's a very full experience. I honestly, pretty solid start.
Yeah.
I mean, think about a warm summer afternoon drinking this would really hit the spot.
Ooh.
I like it comes in for me at least a little subtle. I think there is a little bit of that notes of citrusy, and then there's more of the weedier taste.
A little hoppy.
Yeah. It's like wheat hops. Not as an aftertaste. I was gonna use the word aftertaste because it happens after that initial thing.
Yeah.
But it's still in the moment.
It's like an aromatic.
Yeah.
It sort of lingers.
Yeah.
for me, this is perfect. I love
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
beer.
Honestly, yeah, I can see this going down really fast.
Well, it's
to be
already
honest.
gone down pretty fast
No, I
for
mean,
me.
Yeah.
all of us have definitely said, "Oh, this is pretty good. We're gonna."
So this is a thumbs up for this. one.
I mean, most of the stuff we drink drink it.
yeah.
yeah.
All right. So I'll start with the movie
Because it was your movie.
It was your movie.
Yeah. So I recommended that the other two watch Red Line. Should I give a little synopsis?
Yeah, you should give a synopsis.
Okay.
You should do it? Okay.
All right. I wasn't sure if I was going to make either of you do the synopsis or if I'll do the synopsis.
I think it's going to get messier.
That's true.
And we might need help with each other really formulating on how to give a synopsis for the next two movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So Red Line is an animated movie. It's an anime. It follows this main character, JD, who is like your typical like racing bad boy. And it is like a mixture of Initial D drag racing with like the Star Wars pod racing. It's almost an homage to Speed Racer a lot.
Yeah.
Where it's cool, crazy looking cars that also have like weird mechanics or like weapons. And a lot of the races are like a no holds bar kind of situation.
They're death races.
Yeah, they're death races. And the Red Line is the biggest race of the world. You need
Of the galaxy.
Of the galaxy, basically. Yeah, you need to earn enough points in smaller races like the yellow line or the blue line.
Yeah, you do qualifiers to get it.
Yeah, to qualify. So JD by his name is JD, right? I think so. JP, there it is. I knew something was up with it.
It's Sweet JP.
It's sweet, yeah. Gosh. Anyways, JP.
And we all watched this together.
Yeah, we did. We did actually all watch this together.
But we were
just didn't
dead
talk
silent.
about it. Yeah.
I will. Yeah. Okay. So it was a weird experience.
Yeah.
It was like very like usually like we like do back and forth and like if
Yeah.
we're watching something together we'll say something. This was like the most quiet I think our living room had ever been.
And it's kind of odd, especially for an anime movie, to be silent because usually there's so many comments going back and forth and whatever.
Well, here's what I'll say. JP by happenstance qualifies for the Red Line, and the movie just escalates from there.
Yeah.
And basically, a large chunk of the movie is them racing on the Red Line and the shenanigans that happens.
It's like wacky races
because of that. Yeah, and
because they're racing on a planet that doesn't want them to race on.
yeah, exactly.
So that adds conflict into it.
But yeah, I think it'd be better if I get your opinions on before I kind of give some of my thoughts and feelings about the movie. Dad, did you like the movie? Would you watch it again?
I did like the movie. It reminded me, so I don't know what year the movie came out.
09.
09. It reminded me of some of the animated stuff I watched in the 80s. So it had that nostalgic feel. If you've ever watched the movie Heavy Metal, which is a bunch of heavy metal bands that have cartoons written to their songs. So you had like Black Sabbath and some really, Devo was one of the songs that did it. And it had that kind of art style from that time period. And so I really liked it. It felt very comfortable to watch it. Plus, I think that if you look at it, once again, big Star Wars fan, it had that component to it that reminded me of the Star Wars movies, the racers. And I just thought it seemed familiar to me and not that out of my realm of what I would watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I have a tendency to watch movies that are comfortable and easy to watch over and over again.
Yeah.
So I think that could easily go into my action adventure rotation.
I think so.
You know?
Well, here's what I'll say. I think that sometimes in anime, there are tropes that are difficult for newer watchers to understand or get into.
Yeah.
And I think that this movie is both very stylistic, very like visually appealing in a very unique way. But also the tropes that they use are more like racing tropes rather than more anime tropes to a certain extent.
Well, I mean, you talked about Speed Racer when that movie came out, or you look at the cartoon.
Yeah.
It's not that far off from what the scenarios that they did in that. Only a little bit funnier or more, not comedic, but more slapstick than Speed Racer. Speed Racer was very calm, kind of toned down from what that is.
Yeah, okay.
I think to some extent.
Yeah, I was about to say Speed Racer calm. I don't know if I'd necessarily...
Not calm, but I mean less adult.
Sure, yeah, to an extent. But also I think the joy of animation is you can push things a little bit further, where like JP is like skipping his car like a rock while he's spinning like 360 over and over again.
Yeah.
Don't think you can necessarily do that quite as well in something like Speed Racer. And Nick, what were your thoughts?
Oh, I loved it. Honestly, such a great time. I agree with that. It was like a really easy watch.
Yeah.
Like,
unlike the next two movies.
I think there is a little bit of like comparatively on like what other things I've seen. But no, honestly, like, I mean, it's a really solid anime movie. Like, the thing with like from my perspective on if it's an anime movie, I'm like, yeah, someone like put their foot in it. Usually, like most of the stuff that's like this is an anime movie, you should watch it. I recommend it. Usually, it's got like really good something really special about it. And I agree with you. It is more racing trope than anime tropes. Like I watch it and I'm like, I understand the dynamic. Like you already understand the characters, even if you don't watch anime. Even if if you're like, oh, it's this guy pushing himself to see the end of the race, right? You're like, I get it. He wants to win. All right.
And there's always there's some sort of criminal influence that could impact them. You know.
Right. In this case, you have a character and you want him to be good, and therefore the thing holding him back is not necessarily the character in driving flaws, but the things that he's gotten himself mixed up.
Yeah,
into.
the obstacles.
Yeah.
But no, it was really fun. I liked it. It's so artistic and stylish. The main character has this huge like pompadour hair that's like sticking out. It's like he looks like a over the top like archetype of like if you're like I want an anime version of someone from Greece.
It's like Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo.
Because in the middle of all of the fighting that he would do, he'd always pull out the comb. That's exactly what JP did. He pulled out the comb.
Yeah.
Oh, what? You gonna fix that motor? He pulled out the comb. It reminded me a lot of what the Johnny Bravo character did.
Yeah.
It's true. It's a very like American, like over the top, but like he's such a charming character. You're like, yeah, all right, I believe you. I want to fight for you.
Yeah. In a way, though, it does kind of hit some of the older like anime. Sort of Japanese tropes of like the delinquent character, having that sort of like big hair, wearing like the leather jackets. And I love that. Okay, all right. I rewatched the movie with y'all.
Yes.
And I had a lot of kind of things that
he took notes.
Yeah, I took notes. I took notes for all the movies.
We were just like watching.
Yeah.
Well, it's the first time, like we said, we both had seen it. This was the first time we'd seen it.
I've seen this movie several times. My main thing while I was sitting there, very stylistic. I highly recommend looking at the art. It's just so cool. And I think something else that I think is really cool and unique about it is the animation that they do of the cars speeding up. I think especially in a racing movie or animation, you really want to give what your characters are doing power.
Yeah.
Especially, nitro is a very like popular thing. In this anime, they have little capsules that they put into their car, like transmission or whatever console. And the way that they show the nitro affecting people is slightly different for everyone, but the animation of the car speeding up, whether it's like the car taking a second, like lagging behind and then like boosting forward, or like everything like elongating because they're just like going so fast. They're
that even the camera is barely keeping up with
exactly.
You're like, I gotta pull this camera out because like I can't keep up with it.
Yeah, and I love that because it gives so much weight to them using these like speed ups in a very cool way.
Well, I mean, I like I said, I love the art style.
Yeah.
I mean, it just was, in order to show motion or feel motion, they did a lot of cool things around the car.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just that the car was moving, it was that the environment around it was impacted by that speed.
It's true. Yeah.
And they used a lot of colors to kind of enhance that.
So such a vibrant movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that when you look at it, you say, because even like when they looked at like the sunsets and sunrises, there was just there's this great palette of colors that they were doing it. That's why I said I loved it. I think the story was a good story, but I loved the artwork in it. I just loved watching it and looking at it.
Yeah.
Now, the other art that we haven't mentioned.
Oh, it's the music.
It's the music.
I was going to talk about it.
Gosh.
It starts off with quiet. These like crowd. The movie starts with like you're on like a racetrack. You're seeing a crowd of people. There's like very minimal music, and you're just listening to the ambiance. And they're like, "God, they're almost here." You're like, you hear the announcers like they're making their way, and like you don't see the cars, and it's such a great beginning. I wanted to talk about this specifically. The start of the movie gets you right into it. It's quiet. You're like, you hear the wind, you see the people like chatting, people are smoking, playing cards. They're like,
you hear chinking of tools. That's what I remember. You hear tools chinking and like air guns in the background. It's like a mild garage sound in the background.
You hear like a very ambient, like, we're getting into it. And you hear these announcers like so vibrant, and you're like, oh, what's happening? And then you hear like across the way, and you hear like the rev of an engine or like the skirting of tires, and like everyone in this crowd like looks over. And then like there's a silence, and it goes again, and then you just start hearing like heavy drum and bass start playing, and then it's panning between all these cars, and you hear the engines and you hear the tires like moving out, and they're switching between all of them and back to the crowd, and it's such this incredible symphony of the sounds of the cars and this just heavy drum and bass going on to really set the scene.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think every song in the soundtrack is a bop. Everything is so good. I was dancing while we were watching because everything is just so good, and it gets you in that. And I think we've talked about this in the past together, but something that makes like a good racing media is music, and I think Need for Speed is something that has always been striving to make sure that they have good music. So for me, it's just kind of like a staple. Like if it's a racing like movie, show, video game, it has to have
the music has to be on point.
Otherwise, you're muting it and playing your own music.
Yeah, exactly. Because the music, it's almost like the fantasy of you're like, if I'm racing,
what's the radio playing?
What's the because
exactly.
it's like ingrained. It's like I need some crazy music going on. I would say Crazy Taxi started this fundamentally. Where you're like, gotta get there, and like on the background you're like crazy like punk music that's like over the top, and it's like it's like very like 70s 80s like rock music, just like screaming like as you play.
Well, you talk about the punk drummers are just fast, the sticks are going, and the guitar is just playing one chord over and over again, but faster and faster.
There's something satisfying when everything is moving fast, and it's funny. It's the music has to keep up with the cars.
The car pace,
exactly. So it's like, if the cars are moving slow, you're like, the music can be a little slower. But if the nitro's hitting, the music has to be the heartbeat like pumping faster.
Yeah, and usually there's something that's beating with that music also.
Yeah,
whether it's the light blinking or the flashing of lights going by or something like that. It's causing, or like when they put the nitro in and the fuel started pumping out.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where part of part of the art of the anime needs to be enhanced by music. Now we've talked about this with movies before, where sometimes silence is what you need.
Yeah.
But for a scene that has to have energy,
Oh yeah.
you need that music to be present.
Oh yeah.
You know.
All right. One more thing that I want to harp on as like a good thing, and then something I do want to talk about as perhaps a drawback that I wrote down. I love anime that has a little bit of everything, and I think Redline is one of those that has a little bit of everything. It's predominantly a racing movie, but you can find snippets of anything else that you want. There's a little bit of romance in there.
That's true.
There's a little bit of crime in there.
Yeah.
There's a kaiju battle. There's magic. There are like Batman style vigilantes in there.
Yeah. Mecha.
Yeah, there's a little bit of mecha. The characters, the other racers have their own little vignettes where you're like, oh, these could be like fleshed out characters in their own thing.
They had cool character introductions for everyone in the race, so you knew all the players.
Yeah.
And it would be like, today we're talking about these two racers.
Yeah.
And they all have like these stylish like intros, and you're like, oh, okay, I know.
Well, the other thing is
I
that
think they did it so well.
they also added the evil planet and
Yes.
the monster coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
setting all these like seeds that are like, oh, you know what's gonna happen. They're not hiding anything. They were very transparent on what. It's not the movie isn't full of depth, which makes it even easier to watch. You're like, they're like, they gotta stay away from zone X13 or whatever, and you're like, they're gonna go to X13, and they go to X13, and you're like, whoa, crazy. You know, it's forever. Yeah, I agree. There's aspects that you'd be like, I like this moment the most.
Yeah. And I think a part of that is what you mentioned is the movie doesn't really have a lot of depth. And because of that, I feel like the ending is perhaps its weakest feature.
I agree.
Where it ends in, I think, a bit of a strange way, but it ends. And then the movie is over.
And then credits roll, and you're like,
yeah.
oh, it really ended.
They're
Wow.
like, they touch the finish line and the credits are rolling, and you're like, oh, okay, we're done.
I think it's even stranger than that, because if it's like they finish the finish line and credits roll, you're like, yeah, epic 2008 vibes.
Yeah.
But it was they crossed the finish line, and then the JP
you're right, yeah.
and the love interest are like floating in this like space, and they're like, I love you, and then the other one's like, I love you too, and then they kiss, and then that's how it ends. And I'm like,
you're right.
whoa, all right.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Yeah, I was like,
So what happened?
Where's the ending? So many times I hate endings of movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we talked about a different movie where we were saying it looks like they ended it because they ran out of money, or the timeline got ended, or okay, we need to end this Friday, so wrap it up.
Yeah.
You know?
It's always an external force, but yeah.
Because I don't think like the monster versus the mech, I don't think that was ever concluded. It just seemed incomplete.
Well, they satellite nuked it once, and then the other guy found another monster to go monster mode on. But like, again, it's like a side plot that doesn't even matter.
That's like the movie's filled with loose ends, but you're like, that's not the point. It's not the red line.
It's not the red line, right? Exactly. We're focused on the red line.
Okay, well, I mean, if you say that, then ending the movie when the race ends kind of
but it
sense.
feels where they're floating. It's like, I love you and I love you too, and you're like, yeah, you can surmise that they probably got together no matter what. I'm telling you, it would be so 2008 if boom, cross the line, cheering, credits roll. You're like, all right, and then like heavy rock music. You're like, that's the most 2008 movie.
You know what? That is fair. You're right. I think when I'm thinking about the ending, I am thinking about them like floating kind of corporally up into like
Very
being
strange.
Like, I love you. Yeah.
It's very strange.
You're right. It is a bit strange. But overall, I think the movie is a very fun watch, and definitely like a Friday night with pizza kind of vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like you're looking for something fun. It's weird. It's wacky. It's got a little bit of everything.
Not much of a commitment. I think it's an hour and a half, maybe 90 minutes.
Maybe a little bit more, but also it's a pretty wide audience. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's It's not going to be too heavy for people. It's going to be able to hit a cross section. If you don't know what everyone wants to watch, it's a nice movie to watch.
Yeah.
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 True.
But anyways, I did like it.
Yeah.
Recommend that movie. Recommend.
Definitely
Absolutely.
recommend it. Yeah.
All right. Well, my drink is done. So are y'all's. So let's move on to the next drink and the next movie. We'll see you in a second. And we are back. We've got 3 new glasses with a similar looking alcohol. I'm not gonna lie, it's beer.
Yeah.
Do we have a dark? So okay, we have a dark, so it'll look a little different.
This one looks a little bit more golden.
More golden.
Yeah.
Nick, what are we drinking?
So this is the Home Run Heffa, which is a Hefeweizen. And the special thing about this one is that it is Patch's gold medal winner. It is their most reputable or most accoladed drink. And when we were there, we tried the silver,
Right.
which was, I think it was an ale or a lager.
I think it was ale, yeah.
Either way, I missed out.
That one was probably the best we tried.
Golden lager, that's what it was.
It's a golden lager.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely missed out.
That one was really good.
It was called the Gordonsville or
Yeah,
something like
the
that.
Gordonsville.
Unfortunate that Gordonsville got silver.
It's true.
Yeah.
Very delicious. So I'm expecting a lot from this one, honestly.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Tink, tink. I'm expecting even more full taste, and hopefully some notes of a little something extra to really push it over the edge. Oh,
Ooh, there's something extra in there.
Yeah, Nick,
That one really
you gotta
hits.
try a little bit of that one.
Yeah, that one really hits. It's almost salty. Almost. I can't quite get the taste. It is
it's like taffy.
like a saltwater taffy.
Yeah,
Okay, I can kind of see that.
it's got like this yeah, it tastes like a saltwater taffy kind of. It's got
It's
like
just not as sweet.
no, but it is sweet.
Yeah. Very, very different.
Oddly enough, it's like the aftertaste of banana Laffy Taffy.
Oh. No, yeah. Now that you said that, I definitely can see what you're saying. Yep.
It's odd.
It is odd.
I like it though.
we have a tendency to like odd.
But yeah, well, not all the odd. Sometimes.
Yeah, orange creamsicle is not going to work.
There's some exceptions.
That is one that lives in infamy, and I'm so excited for when we do our least favorite drinks.
Whenever we discuss that,
Yeah.
it'll, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So my movie was Redline. Dad, you chose the movie Memento.
So I chose Memento mainly. So here's why I chose it. It is a very unique format because the movie plays from now back to the past. So
Yep.
it runs backwards through the whole movie. And the concept is that there is a guy that has had a head injury and he has no short-term memory to the point that if he falls asleep or there's a gap of time between him doing something and doing something else, he will not remember it. It doesn't even he doesn't have to be asleep. He doesn't even have to be asleep. It could just be a space of time.
It could take 10 seconds.
Yeah. And so
Well, a part of it is also triggered by the sound of a door closing.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, so the reason he had a head injury was, you find out, I guess halfway through the movie, is that his wife was killed,
Yep.
and when he was trying to fight off the guy that was trying to kill his wife, he landed on the floor, got his head injured, and then he can't remember. There's so many different storylines in this, and so many different things going on, because there's a storyline of he was an insurance agent and he saw this example of this other person, who you don't know whether it's real or not. So so in order for him to try to remember these scenes, he ends up tattooing what he believes is facts onto his body.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he also he has a
Polaroid.
attached to him all the time. So he's always taking pictures and writing on it. And so, but as you're watching it, you can see where there's flaws in everything he does. Because he no matter how hard he tries, because he says, and throughout the thing, he says, if you have a system, you can manage this. But even while he has a system and he thinks he's managing it, he's really not managing it. He's being manipulated. He's being used. And no matter how hard he tries, he will never know what is true and what's not true.
I think, for me, one of the bigger twists in the movies, and again, big spoiler alert, it's almost, I think, impossible to talk about this movie without spoiling anything.
Yeah.
For me, the bigger twist is that, yes, like, you start the movie going, okay, he's like on the trail of the guy and he's like investigating. It sounds like he has it managed. And then one of the twists is like, oh, well, he's actually being manipulated. And then I think it twists back into he wants to be manipulated.
Yeah.
Like, in a way, he is manipulating the people to manipulate him so that he can continue living this sort of
Weird investigative revenge killer.
yeah, this fantasy that he's created for himself in order to feel sane in a way.
Yeah.
It is such a different format.
Yes. And when you had mentioned this movie in the past, when you said it went in reverse, I didn't know what that meant. Because I was like, how do you, like, is everything just backwards? Like, these actors just learned how to say things with the... But I think the first note I wrote in my logbook was it's an insane start, and you don't even realize it's moving in reverse until, because he's the very beginning, like the opening credit scene, he's standing over a dead body.
Yep.
And you don't realize it's in reverse until the slow motion of him flicking the Polaroid.
And it fading.
And it's slowly fading
It's
out.
What a strong imagery, by the way. That Christopher Nolan guy.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. Let's kind of look at who the director is. This is one of his first works that he did. It may be his first major film work.
Wow.
Because this was 98, 2000.
2000.
Yeah, 2000. So this is really one of his first works, long before the Batman stuff that he did.
Yeah.
And then, because I think before Batman, he did like Christopher Columbus or someone like that.
Nice.
So, but yeah, so this was really one of his first ones. And the main actor is Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
Who I see in different roles, but I never remember
For
his
you,
name.
it's always, yeah.
I never remember his name, but he plays such a great role. And there's so many, like Teddy, who is in the movies, has been a supporting actor in hundreds of movies, it seems.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that, and the way it goes in reverse is kind of funny, because the scene will start at a point, and you'll go to the end of that scene, and then all of a sudden you'll revert to the next scene, and the next scene will end at exactly where
The previous
scene
scene
started.
Yeah.
Which is
So it's like small cuts backwards.
It's answering all the questions every scene where, how did we get here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then the next scene answers it. And you're like, oh.
but how did we get there?
Yeah.
And then you go to the scene before. It is, for me, it was because it was such a unique format. That's what made it interesting. Plus, I think it's a good story also. I think, anyway, so I'll let you guys talk about it rather than me. We'll start with you, Alexander. What did you think about it?
This one I wrote the most notes on.
Adds up.
One of like my second notes was the pacing and the timing of everything, the timeline of how the theories develop and change. is Whiplash. It is crazy.
That is
Not
true.
only that, but in the middle of it, you keep having flashbacks.
Yes, which also adds this weird where like we have a main storyline that's going, and then they're also intermingling black and white flashbacks.
Yeah.
Where you're like, when even did this take place?
Yeah. The only part that you know when it took place was before he got a thigh tattoo.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
So you're like, it's before all that I've seen, but maybe not all that, has been, because you don't know when he got the thigh tattoo.
But I will say, I thought I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was such a great way to do a mystery.
Oh, yeah.
In the fact that I was constantly guessing. I love being kept in the dark as an audience member and then learning as the main character.
Do you think he did that so that you could feel the same way that Guy Pearce is
Yes.
thinking?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, honestly, it would have been even more fascinating if you didn't even do it in chronological order.
No, that was one of the other notes that I said is I don't think they needed to do the past scenes in black and white. I feel like they just intermingle those, and you're like, when did that even happen?
I think, honestly, Christopher Nolan, he could have made it even more convoluted. I was like, why are you showing us the end, or why are you starting us with the end of the last scene, or whatever?
Yeah.
Make it crazier.
Yeah. But there,
Oh my God.
there are so many moments where it's like, whoa, wait a second, that I love having. I think one of the big ones that kind of like sent a little like chills down my spine is he's like talking on the phone. He always talks about this tattoo he has on the inside of his, or like over his thumb basically.
Yeah.
That says like, remember Sammy Jenkins or whatever his name was.
Jenkins.
Yeah, Sammy Jenkins, which is when he was an insurance person. Sammy was a person who had like short-term memory loss, blah, 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 blah. Very similar to him, and near
this is and that one has multiple flashbacks.
Yes,
throughout the movie.
yes. And at the end, you're like, is this even a real person?
Yeah, because a new the person you've been like following with like says didn't exist, didn't have that, there was no wife.
Yeah,
and you're like, I can't trust you, which I think goes into the whole scheme of it. You can't trust it. There is no reliable narrator.
There's no reliable narrator.
Because you find out that everyone around the main character and the main character is lying to the main character.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's no truth.
Yep.
I mean, because it ends with him saying, well, if that's going to be the way I'm going to live, then I'm just going to live the lie.
Yeah. But what I was saying is the aha moment that I kind of had, the shiver moment, was he's talking on the phone. We've seen a couple scenes. These are the black and white flashbacks. A couple of him talking on the phone with this person, and he's scratching at a new tattoo that he has covered, and he's scratching at it a little bit, and then he's like, Sammy, blah, 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 talking on the phone, and he peels back the covering, and it's this crazy never answer the phone that he's tattooed on his arm, and he immediately goes, who is this? And you hear the number drop.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
oh my God, what's happening?
That was tasty. That was tasty.
I really like that. But there's so many of those moments where you're like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
He killed her boyfriend. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God. Like, I feel like a detective. And the way that the movie set up is every new clue is like, this changes everything.
I remember, like, they show the back of a Polaroid for like a half a second, and I pause, and I'm like, what did it say? What did it say?
Zoom
Like,
enhance.
I was like, what did that say? And it was like, oh, okay. It is like, it pulls you in because you want to be you want to be in the know because the main character isn't.
Yeah. Well, I think also the thing is when you get in the middle of the movie, where you start ends up being a false start, right? Because like the one is the woman is hit and she's like, oh, I've been beat and whatever. Mm-hmm. And then the next scene it ends with him hitting her.
Yeah.
Yep.
But while she's talking to her, she's taking all the pens and putting in, so
yeah.
he can't write down what he saw.
Well, I will say, didn't like that scene too much. This man always should have a pen on him.
Yeah,
Yes.
absurd.
It feels weird that he didn't have a pen on him.
Absolutely absurd. No, it's such a fascinating movie on many accounts, and it's only like a real cast of like 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Because you have like the guy in the hotel.
Bert,
Yep.
You have Teddy.
Teddy.
You have Guy Pearce.
Yep.
Natalie.
Leonard.
Natalie.
Oh, yeah, Leonard.
Leonard is Guy Pearce's name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Then you have the boyfriend.
Yep. Sort of, not really.
Yeah.
He's like kind of there.
And then who's the one that he ran out of town?
That's the boyfriend.
No, that's not the boyfriend. He kills the boyfriend. The other guy is.
Oh, the other drug dealer.
Yeah.
Dodd.
Dodd. Yeah, Dodd.
Dodd's the one he ran off. And the only other person is that old guy at the bar that spits in the cup.
Yep. Yeah, and then everything else is flashbacks, where it's just you catch glimpses of his wife, and then you see Sammy and his wife,
And his wife.
and now that was basically it.
Yep.
Very impressive to do with such a small cast, while keeping it so on edge, where you're like, it's a whodunit, but you're like, the cast is so small, but you're like, whoa, you know.
Plus, I also think that it was important. I know you said this wasn't really necessary, but I think he used the lighting and the coloring to great effect to add, like, I think by doing some scenes in black and white and some things in color, it made the contrast seem even more stark. Mm-hmm. I just think it just was, because to the very end you still don't know what the truth is.
And I think it left intentionally so.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I
Because,
agree.
again, I think, like Nick said, there's no reliable narrator, but we are following the main character. And for him, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's
what
the
truth
conclusion.
is.
Yeah, that at the end, that's exactly what it was. Is that it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
you know, because the only thing he remembers is what he wrote down.
He just wants a purpose of some kind. And in that way, it is crazy.
He set himself up to find the truth. Mm-hmm. And the truth is literally whatever is in front of him.
Yep. Crazy movie. But I will say, I don't know how much rewatch value this has.
Nah.
Like, I think the feelings of, like, oh my gosh, like,
Yeah.
for me, while I was watching that, I was at the edge of my seat the whole time because I was very invested in being a part of the investigation.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be like, what's the next clue? Why is that crossed out on the Polaroid? Like, I'm so in there. I think I can rewatch this and appreciate the uniqueness of this film. I've never seen a film done like this before.
Yeah.
But I won't get that same, like, joy.
My sort of fear is like, how bad is this movie if you just watch it?
Oh no, I didn't even think about that.
If you just ordered everything in chronological order, how bad is the movie?
Yeah, we talked about this. There is a director's cut where you can get the movie in chronological.
I'm actually really curious to watch that.
I don't know. I'd be afraid. I'm like,
So this how I looked at this movie.
It would be a lot shorter.
would it?
I feel like.
I don't know.
So how I looked at this movie is like a murder mystery game. You get to play it once,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you're done.
It's all about first impressions. For
Yeah.
that kind
Right,
of thing.
because you get there, you get the full feeling and ups and downs,
Yeah.
and then you're done with it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was, I mean, like I said, the reason I picked it was because it was so unique. Mm-hmm. I thought the story was baffling and overwhelming and just so unique. I loved the cinematography in it. I loved how the characters were. It wasn't big scenes. It was how they depicted the characters, and I loved that they went from black and white to color. I'm not a film guy,
Yeah.
but to me, it impacted me how they did that.
I think from a film standpoint and an acting standpoint, the most interesting part is that it's always one-on-one.
Yep.
There are never 3 people talking in a scene.
Holy cow.
It is. It's always this kind of communication.
It is the most intimate conversations. Teddy never talks to Natalie.
Yeah, you're right. Holy cow.
Because when he gets done talking to Natalie, he goes out to his car. Then it's him and Teddy talking.
The only time there are 3 people in a scene, it's when Dodd is locked in the closet, duct taped.
and
Yeah.
doesn't say a word.
and doesn't say a word.
Until he leans in.
What's your name?
Yeah, talks to him one-on-one. And then, yeah, oh my gosh, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
It's so fascinating from that end because it's just the whole movie is just intimate one-on-ones. Because as soon as someone gets taken out of the scene, a new person appears.
And it's immediate.
It's immediate. Yeah.
It just adds to the unreliable narrator because there's not a third person to verify.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no eyewitness. It's a whole conversation about him. He's like, "What? Police don't be like, oh, I remember this. You can't trust an eyewitness testimony." That was the whole conversation he had with Teddy.
So there is another aspect of this. You showed us the lighthouse.
Yes, sir.
And that one-on-one,
Yep.
you never knew what was real and what wasn't.
It's literally the same concept.
Yeah,
Instead of cabin fever, you're just like, I can't believe anything.
yeah. Overall, I'm glad that you made us watch this movie. It was weird and crazy.
Not what I expected.
Not what I expected
By
either.
the way you and our mom describes it, I was like, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah.
But like watching it, I'm like, yo, this is really good.
But I agree with you. I saw it again
Yeah.
just so I could look at it for this, and it's been, I hate to say it, but maybe 20 years since I've seen it.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I think your mom and I watched it BC.
Well, she claims that she's never seen it in its entirety.
It can't
so-
be BC. It came out in 2000.
Yeah,
Well, you're
I was
right.
born. And so was he, actually.
Yeah, you both were born.
Well, maybe it was the early year of 2000.
Whatever. But but yeah, it was.
Before consciousness is what he meant.
But yeah, I mean, when I watched it the second time or this
Yeah.
time, it wasn't. It's not like you. It was more from a like deciphering kind of
Yeah, it loses the mystique.
right.
And that's fine. Like most murder mysteries, just like that's how it be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this when we buy a murder mystery game. It's only good for one time,
Yeah.
one playthrough.
Yep.
Yep.
You know. But yeah,
But I will say, I don't think that devalues it. Like, Agatha Christie books are still good.
Yeah.
It's just you lose that like whoa moment
Yeah.
from like finding who the killer
And
is.
it's not exclusive to murder mysteries. It's just like the first go around usually has the most sense of wonder and
Yeah.
like curiosity attached to it. And then if you ever return to it, you're like, yeah, I kind of already know. And
Yeah.
like I think you could say that for a lot of media, not
Yeah.
just the mystery genre.
I think I just mainly attribute it to mystery genres.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because like for me,
because it's obvious.
Yeah. I, like Redline, the first time I watched it, obviously there was the mystery of being like, what is happening? What's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
But I still get that like joy of being like, oh, I know what's gonna happen next, and it's crazy for no
true.
reason.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, you watch it, you know that boy meets girl, they're going to win the race.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
You know,
Oh, you're right. There's a bit of a predictability
Yeah.
in the story already.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, so thumbs up on that movie?
Yeah. Thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up on that movie.
Yeah.
I think if you watch it, go in with an open mind
Yeah.
and just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I think you just sort of send it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
don't think too much about it.
We have spoiled this movie to
If you're already at the point where you're like,
back.
I guess I should watch it now. You know, we've practically spoiled every piece of it, but I think, you know.
There are some parts that we did not spoil.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot, yeah. But for the overarching, we did spoil it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We gave the warning. But I will just say, if you've, I don't know, if you have short-term memory and just forgot everything we said, take a stab at it. I think it's a very unique experience. And even if we did spoil everything, just the cinematography and how it's paced,
Right.
even if you know the mystery, fascinating to watch.
Super crazy.
Yeah, I think the technical aspect is just really fascinating
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah, like I said, I've never seen a movie done anywhere
No.
like this.
It was the
before.
most drastic way to handle the chronological mix-up,
Yeah.
I think, which is just shoot it in reverse.
Yeah.
Or like just not even shoot it, just like show it in reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, not only showed in reverse, but then put these flashbacks
Yeah,
in the middle of
add
it.
a little extra.
And you're like, what is happening? Yeah. No, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, two of our drinks
hold
are
on.
finished. Oh,
He had to talk a lot because it was his movie.
Yeah. All right. All three of our drinks are finished.
Wow.
It's time for another one. We'll catch you in a moment. See you soon. Oh. Let me do that. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome back. We've got our third and final drink, and as promised, it does look a bit different, although not as dark as I was expecting.
It's true.
Someone off camera in the downtime said it looks more like a red ale, and I definitely agree with that. More of an amber color than that very kind of dark brown that I think we're normally used to.
Yeah.
Nick, what are we drinking now?
So this is Hungry Monks. Fun name. It's a Belgian dark, parentheses, strong.
Parentheses, strong.
Add the parentheses.
I think it's a great way to end it. I am expecting this to be the heaviest by a significant margin. I don't know too much else. I'm maybe expecting a more desserty experience, maybe a little bit more creamy or sort of smooth tones to it to give it to pair well with maybe a dessert.
It has a very unique taste on the end.
It does. It does. You are normally a darker kind of beer.
I love a dark beer, and usually because it's got more of a burnt chocolatey aftertaste, but this does not have that.
No, it's got something different.
It's a little bit different aftertaste. Like it's really hard to explain.
I know the feeling. I can't find it yet.
It's definitely not ashy.
No.
You know,
It is unique in the way that when you think of darker beers, you do think of that like chocolatey kind of like aftertaste. This doesn't have it. It
almost has a cola.
Yeah, a little bit. I can definitely see that.
Yeah. It's hard to equate
No,
that.
it literally does. It does feel like a normal Belgian, just kind of turned in a different direction.
Interesting spin on it, for sure.
Yep. I mean, it is good again. I think that all three of them have been drinkable.
I haven't been disappointed.
No,
No, not at all.
no, these have all been very good.
And pretty unique, I would say.
Yeah.
Each of them have like a good aspect to them.
Yeah.
And not, like you said, they're not traditional.
Yeah.
They have a different taste to them that makes them unique.
I like it.
All right, Nick, the last movie. Talk to us a little bit about your movie and give us a little synopsis.
So my movie that I recommended both of them to watch was Fences. Which
There will be spoilers here.
we will
Already a fan favorite from Dad, I can see.
So I would say this is the oddity where there isn't a goal compared to the other two. Where, in the other two, there was a very clear end, right? You were like, I know what we're working towards.
Yes.
Fences takes a more drama route that you are just trying to keep up with all of the sort of stressful and, things that are happening in this family. So the plot of it follows a family in
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh, yeah.
And they're just trying. It's weird. It's just like a sort of feeling. It's just people just trying to survive. Is how I feel it. It's just there is the sort of standard, like typical, like hardworking man trying to provide for his family. There's the hardworking wife who's trying to raise their son and also just try and keep the house together while all of this. You have the lead Troy, his brother, who's under some sort of he's got some diagnoses of like a mental.
Well, no, he was injured in World War II and he had a steel plate in his head.
So he has, mental trauma.
It is some sort of like
Yeah.
cognitive.
And he's there and he
He has a son from another woman.
Well, you jumped a little bit here, but
Because the son comes in one of the first scenes. The grown son.
oh, okay.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're talking about the musician. Yes.
the musician.
I always want to something lion. I always want to say lion. But
So there's all these like factors working around this house, and then you have their son that is actively in the house, Corey, who wants to pursue football, wants to pursue his dreams.
And he's a senior in high school.
He's a senior in high school. And the sort of drama, I mean, among many, many, many things in this movie, is Troy, the main guy, sort of gave up or didn't have the opportunity to fulfill his dreams. And what ended up in the situation where he's just working hard and being like, I do what I gotta do, sort of like grounded sense. And I think everyone is unsatisfied with their predicament. I don't know how else to describe this movie.
No, yeah,
I think that's good. Is that everyone is there's a lot of dramas, and so the thing I always think about is that when I go see, this is a theater play that's been adapted into a movie.
I was about to say that's what I was going to say. My first impression was in the very first scene, due to its kind of long form nature, I immediately was like, this feels like a play.
Yeah, it is originally a theatrical script.
And so I think that everyone is locked into their characters, and it's a lot of it is about how these characters are trying to break free from that.
Yeah, or just like find some place. I think is the.
I also think that the racial overtones has an oppressive part of the movie, because I think that a lot of the derivatives of their situation is based on the racism that was occurring at that time.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a weird thing when you get deeper into the movie. Part of Troy, the husband, the father, is pushing Corey, their son, so hard to, be like, you can't just play baseball. You got to have a job. You got to have good grades. You got to do all this stuff. Like he's piling it on because it's so difficult for a black man during that time to be able to do anything, that he is conflicted. He's like, you gotta, even if you have to give up your dreams, you have to be able to survive.
Yeah, and I think that, but I also think that caused him to narrow his vision of what his son could be also.
It's true. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the whole...
Yeah, because his son had this ability to get a scholarship and go to college, and Troy kept saying, no, get a trade, something that you can do with your hands. You can't go to college.
Yeah.
And I think sorry, I know we're getting into it, but the counterpart of that is that Troy was an incredible baseball player.
Yeah.
He played for the Negro Leagues. The Homestead Pirates is the team that was in Homestead Grays was a team that was in Pittsburgh, because they talked about the Homestead Field. I don't think you guys noticed that because you don't know the history of the baseball in the area. So the Negro League team was a Homestead Grays. And when he talked about it, he was on that team, but when he got past 40, he was too old to make it to the major leagues, but he was one of the top players in the Negro League. And so part of his thought process is that because he didn't have the ability to make the transition to the Major League Baseball, because it was just then when they were allowing other people other than white players into the Major League Baseball. He just was too old, because halfway through the movie or near the end of the movie, his wife goes, you were over 40 years old. There's no way you were going to make the Major League Baseball.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that the baseball aspect is something that I understood just because I grew up with baseball around me and doing it.
Right.
Which I don't think you guys have seen. You're not that familiar with
Nope.
that.
The only thing baseball that I'm tapped into is the Savannah Bananas. I think that's the only thing I got.
So true. But yeah, it's I mean, you shed light in that environment a little bit more. But it isn't about one thing. Is the whole movie, right? There's just things on top of things, and it's societal pressure, it's racism, it's all of these, things that just bear down on a family.
Yeah.
And it felt, I recommended this movie for many reasons. One, I think the acting is just breathtakingly phenomenal. I think everyone plays such a genuine and honest version of whatever, and it feels crazy how good like everyone was on top of their roles. But not in addition, I think that it's just so impactful, and it just unfortunately like barely lets you breathe a lot of the time. And I think it's such a powerful movie.
It is powerful. It embodies the no happy endings.
Yeah.
Where like for me watching it, in the end, Troy dies for whatever reason.
Yeah.
A heart attack or
I think it's a heart attack.
Heart attack when he's hitting the ball.
yeah. And there is no solace in that.
Yeah.
There is no happiness. There is, like, you have seen him pushing his son to a degree, kicking his son out, and just being not a great person at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But there is no, there's no solace. There's no happiness. There's no joy.
So here's one of the things that really got me was, so he is a garbage guy.
Yep.
And he puts in a complaint that they're only letting white guys
White
be
people,
drivers.
yep.
So the commissioner calls him down, and all of his African American friends said, "You're going to get fired."
Yes.
So he goes in there, and he comes back, and it is the happiest moment that we see in the movie.
Yeah.
He says, "I got a job as a driver."
Yeah.
So they gave me the job. But that is so short-lived.
Well, it's even like he is happy in that moment, but everything else around him
Is so.
Yeah.
Because what does he do? Oh, I'm going to go down to Taylor's and hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, this movie has so many like heartbreaking quotes
Yeah.
and moments.
It's true.
A couple of moments that stick out to me is him coming in to tell his wife that the woman that he's cheating on her with is having a child. And him saying, I'm going to be a daddy. And her being like, what? Like, what?
Yeah.
So we talked about this. Viola Davis was
Gosh, she killed it.
No, yeah,
Remarkable.
so
Gosh, she
good.
killed it. Oh my god.
But the thing that kills me in that scene is she asks him if he's going to stop seeing this lady. And he says, she makes me laugh. I'm sitting on the porch. She makes me laugh. And that's his answer. And that kills me.
Yeah.
Because you can see it kills the character of Viola Davis, where she's just like, what's next?
There's another conversation that those two have where I think they're going back and forth and Troy was like, I've been stuck here, sedentary, 18 years. I ain't taking a step. Mm-hmm. And he's like going on about this. And Viola Davis, the wife, walks up and goes, and I've been standing with you right next to you for the last 18 years. You think I didn't want anything? You think I didn't have aspirations, hopes, dreams, the thought that I could be happy in one way or another? But I've been with you.
once again, because she had all the best lines. He brings a baby home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And she goes, "This baby will have a mother, but you will be a womanless man." That was like, oh.
I in that scene, I was honestly more impactful. I mean, when he walks in with it, with the child, and he was like, "This is a baby, my daughter. She has no mother. She doesn't know about grown people, business. She's an innocent whatever." And I'm like, oh man, I don't know. The whole movie is crazy.
Yeah. I think My hottest take, I think, is the end of the movie, where
That's where I cry.
Troy has died, and it's a bit of a time skip.
Yeah.
Where
6 years.
Yeah, 6 years.
we see Corey comes back home. He was in the Marines for the last 6 years. Raynal, I believe, is the daughter's name.
The baby, yeah.
Yeah.
The other two, like Troy's best friend from prison, is there.
Bono.
Yep.
Mr. Bono.
Mr. Bono, and then his other son, Lioness, or shoot, I wish I could remember his name properly, but I can only remember the brother doing the lion bit to him.
Yeah.
Is also there, and for me, one of the moments is the son Corey goes, I'm not going to Dad's funeral. And Viola Davis has this wonderful speech about, how things weren't always perfect, but Troy provided. My hottest take is I don't think he needed to go to that funeral.
Yeah.
I don't think that needed to be something, especially because the one of the really the only notes that I took was the quote that she said, sometimes when he touched, he bruised, sometimes when he took me in his arms, he cut. And I think at the end of the movie, again, there's no happy endings, there's no solace.
Yeah.
But at the end of the movie, I didn't think that she needed to be defending Troy and his character, especially from Corey, who had very valid kind of complaints of his father very directly changed the trajectory of his life.
Yeah.
Because no one should be a Marine.
Yeah, exactly. In a very positive way, because he was a Marine. But I think that kind of touches on fears that I have of being a father, of when I think about what it would mean to raise a child, but to directly impact your child in what I would consider a negative way.
For sure.
It scares me so much.
So when you guys have heard this story, but when we got married, I said, I don't want to have any kids. And this is the reason why, is I said, I could make a mistake when they're 1 or 2 and not realize it until you're 22.
Yeah.
I felt like I was not a good enough man to be a father. And I think that Troy in this way had a bad example as a dad.
Yeah.
And so he left and hated what his dad was, and then he ended up being that same kind of bully dad that his dad was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. I hate feeling this way, and the movie does it intentionally. The scriptwriters do it intentionally. But at the end of the day, I don't hate Troy.
Nope.
He is truly just doing his best from what he has learned, what he's been taught. And he's just trying to support his family in what he thinks is the best way possible.
Well, I mean, the character he portrays is someone that left home at 14,
Yep.
can't read,
Yep.
went on the road, went to jail
Yep.
for 15 years, got out, played baseball, got married, had a child, and was a garbage collector. So
Yep.
his dream of being this baseball player ended.
Yes.
So I think that his life has been, as you said, there is no happy ending.
There's no happy endings.
No, it's a case where it's too real, maybe.
Yeah. It is a little. It's a little too.
Well, I
real.
mean, look, the dialect, the scenarios, they hit a realistic nerve.
Yeah.
So everyone goes, I can relate to that, right?
I that's what I said. It's so grounded, but it's like everything is too grounded.
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
I can't believe in anything, or like I don't have to believe, which maybe makes it worse.
Yeah.
Where you're like, yeah, so like a loved one is like has trauma, and they're getting administered into the hospital, and
Yeah.
you just it kills like, oh man, the brother,
Yeah,
the brother, all the brother scenes killed me. Like they made me want to cry.
So what is crazy about this is that my dad's brother was hit by a car and dragged 40 feet. And he had brain damage, so he was that person. My dad grew up with that brother,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And so it hit a spot really close to. My dad dropped out of high school to join the Navy.
Right.
There
At
was
least it wasn't the Marines.
right, it was not the Marines, but they're in Pittsburgh. This is what's happening here.
Yeah.
So much of that, touched what my family was.
Yeah.
There wasn't. It was different, but it's still. I think that if you took, here's what's funny: if you took all of the things that were happening, your family will inevitably have 1, 2, 3 of each of those scenarios.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what they were trying to show, because I think there was one line, once again, Viola Davis said it was, I wanted a family where it was just my mom and my dad, but everyone else was, this is my mom and your dad and my papa and your mama.
Yeah.
And she said, there's just so many people involved in it. And you see that with this family where there are 3 children of Troy's,
Yeah.
and all 3 are from different women.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there are huge age differences between all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And so, because the one child, the oldest child is born before he goes to jail. The one goes after he goes to jail, and then the other one is born when his middle child gets out of high school. So there's like 20-year difference between all of them.
Yeah. I think the shining light of this movie, because again, I think the moral is that there's no happy endings.
The moral
But-
is
Yeah. I was going to say, I think the actual moral of the story is that you should follow your dreams.
yeah.
And sometimes it's difficult with family.
Yeah, I think that's the. I mean, I also think it's just like you can't choose.
Yeah.
You can choose. You can pick your friends, but you can't choose your family.
Can't choose your family.
And I think there is so many aspects of that movie that really resonated with me when I
Yeah.
watched it for the first time, that I just was enamored with basically every aspect of it. And I think it's not captured as often, especially so intently.
I mean, I think the writer
Yeah.
was exceptional.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I feel like we haven't talked about, we got to give props to. Obviously, the casting choices were phenomenal, but this was lead acted by Denzel Washington, who also directed it.
Yeah.
And so obviously there was a vision that he had going into this and like using this script that I think he really kind of just nailed
Yeah.
perfectly.
He captured it so well.
Yeah.
So impressive that. And I will say the part that always makes me cry
Yeah.
is when Corey,
Oh my gosh.
the son,
Yeah.
and the daughter are on the porch and they're singing this song that they both knew because they both came from his dad.
Yeah. Because Troy always sang this song.
And there's a part where Corey starts breaking down.
Yeah.
That part gets me. That part gets me good.
Yeah.
I will like watch it. I was like, I know. And I'm like, oh, I know. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough movie to watch.
it is a tough movie.
It's tough.
It is a tough movie. It's also like way longer than you would expect.
It's like 220.
Yeah.
It's like
Is that really how long it
the
was?
full runtime is 220. Obviously, that's like with credits and everything. I think actually it's 218, but basically 220.
It's tough.
It's
It's the
movie.
longest movie that we had.
It is the longest movie that we have on this list here, but
I don't know. It didn't.
I just want to say it suffocates you with everything that's happening.
Yeah.
They don't give you time to breathe.
and I think that's intentional because like these characters don't have time to breathe.
Yeah.
Like like life is happening, things are going on.
And it's heavily on them.
Yeah.
The day by day. You know, there's a when Troy was like, or God, I feel bad. Rose is the wife's name. Well, she came to him after like a bunch of drama, and she was like, "Tomorrow's Friday," and Troy was like, "Of course I know tomorrow's Friday."
Oh my gosh.
That's all I look for every single day, every day of the week. I look for Friday. You think I don't know when Friday is?
Yeah.
You know, it's like this because like that's when he gets his check.
Yeah.
Right, and it's this moment where you're like, every week is just a nonstop struggle.
See, but I also look at that scene. Yeah, obviously that's like I look at that from his perspective.
Yeah.
But from her perspective too, where she's like,
Just come home.
just come home.
Yeah, are you gonna come home?
And he's like, I come home every night, and she's like, that's not what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, rough movie.
So we're getting near the end here.
Yes.
So I would recommend.
Do you recommend it? Do you recommend this movie?
I would recommend this movie.
I would recommend it because I just think it's too good not to want to watch.
It's good. It's very real. It's not a movie that I really want to rewatch.
No.
If I'm gonna be honest.
No, I was holding off, to be honest. I was
Yeah.
like, do I want to watch this? Because I know how I'm gonna feel.
But the other thing is another movie that has like a 6-person cast.
Yeah, that's true.
Really small cast.
Yeah.
Because it literally just focuses like on this family, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But rather than being one-on-one, it's usually ensembles that are talking.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the diversity in the movies that we chose was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We chose 3 dramatic changes.
Yeah.
I think they were all very different. They all had their own kind of theme about what they were and what they
Absolutely.
represented. Both from a film standpoint and from a topic standpoint and whatever. So I think it was a good thing. It was an experiment for us to see how this would work.
If you like this, we'll do it again.
All right, really quickly before we run out of time, we had 3 phenomenal drinks. I think we liked all 3 drinks, but which was our favorite? Dad, I'm going to go to you first.
I am going to totally break this. I thought the first one was the best one.
Whoa.
All right. Yeah, the first one, the Pilsner, the VIP. Good one, good taste. Nick, what are you feeling?
The more I let it sit, I think I did like the home run Heffa the most.
The second one,
The
number
second
2.
one. I think it was so clean and refreshing and had such a like interesting twinge that I was fascinated
I
with.
did like that because Hefeweizen is really one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Hefeweizen, but yeah. But the
Sorry.
but the first one, just the citrusy notes just hit the spot so much.
What do you got?
I was about to, I'm really stuck. I really like this last one, but I think if I look into my heart of hearts, the VIP, that very first one, I think really just got me.
It was really great.
And I think it was my favorite.
Really tasty.
Yeah. Overall, fun time, fun switch up for our normal thing. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed this experiment.
It's like a book club.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
it was
little
like
bit
a
of a book club. Yeah, I like that a lot. I didn't like when we all sat down and watched Redline together and didn't talk about
We
it.
couldn't say anything. We just like the movie ended. We stood up and just left the room.
Good night.
It was the strangest thing that
It
happened.
was the most not us.
Yeah, weirdest family movie night ever. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. We'll catch you next time. We'll see you soon. New drinks.